We have another NHL trade to discuss this evening, this time between the Buffalo Sabres and the Anaheim Ducks. The Sabres have acquired defenseman Brandon Montour. We'll discuss all the details coming up next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We review and discuss all 31 NHL teams. So if you're a huge hockey fan, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. So the NHL Trade Deadline is less than 24 hours away, and we have yet another big trade to discuss here. Like I said, this time between the Sabres and the Anaheim Ducks. The Buffalo Sabres have acquired defenseman Brandon Montour from the Ducks in exchange for younger prospect defenseman Brendan Guhle and a conditional 2019 first-round selection. Now, the condition on that selection is that right now the Sabres hold first-round picks of the St. Louis Blues and the San Jose Sharks, and it is at the discretion of the Anaheim Ducks which one they want to pick, and they do have some time before they make that decision. They can wait till the end of the season once the order of selection is determined before they decide. So obviously they're going to take the higher of the pick. So obviously if either of those teams goes deep into the playoffs and that pick ends up being really, really low, obviously they're going to go with the other one or whatever. But either way, they're going to take the higher pick. So at the end of the day, the Ducks get a first-round pick, and they get a pretty solid prospect defenseman who was expected to take bigger strides this year with the Sabres, but unfortunately did not. I mean, Guhle played a handful of games with the Sabres this year and just did not progress the way they were hoping, and obviously they've decided to move him on as they didn't feel like they were going to be able to get out of him what they originally had thought over the last couple of years as he's been developing here. But this is a pretty steep price to pay. I'm a big fan of Brandon Montour. I really like his game. He's a pretty solid top four guy. I think he will complement the Sabres blue line crew pretty decently here. Certainly going to be an upgrade. You throw in Rasmus Dahlin, Ristolainen. I mean, this certainly makes the blue line better. My only concern is for the Sabres' sake that they might have kind of paid a lot here, especially where he's not a rental player. This is not the type of deal that they had to make right now. The Sabres by no means are guaranteed to be a playoff team. Right now they're on the outside looking in. They will have a tough time to get in my opinion. So I figured that this type of deal by the Sabres might wait until the offseason. There was some reports from Elliot Friedman last night that Brandon Montour might be on the trading block. Obviously, with the recent demotion of Montour's minutes in Anaheim, Friedman suggested that he very well might be considered to be trade bait by the Anaheim Ducks. The Anaheim Ducks are certainly going through a retool or a rebuild right now where they need to kind of free up some cap space and really look forward towards the future. It is not surprising to see them move a defenseman. Obviously, that was one of their areas of strength. And Montour, I guess, from a lot of reasons, kind of makes sense to be the guy that they would move out. They'll hang on to Lindholm and Fowler long term here. Right now, Montour has one more year left on his contract, then he'll be an RFA with arbitration rights. He's only 1 year away after that from being considered a UFA, depending on what kind of deal he signs next. So it'll be interesting to see if the Sabres can lock him up longer term, or if he'll end up testing unrestricted free agency the year after and maybe doing a 1 year deal. So time will tell here. I do like the deal for the Sabres. Only concerns, I think they might have paid too big of a price tag. That first round pick that they give up could have very well proved to be a decent player, and they might have given up on Guhle a little bit too soon in his young career here as well. So right now, I like the deal for both sides. The Sabres get a very serviceable top four guy who can play big minutes, produce pretty well. Montour put up 32 points last year. He's on his way to probably match or maybe even exceed that a little bit this year. I think he's around 25 points so far. So certainly, like I said, I like Montour's game, and I do like this deal for the Ducks as well. They get themselves a first-round pick and a pretty decent, solid prospect defenseman here as well. So that being said, I like the deal for both clubs, but like I said, I almost think Anaheim wins because long-term, I think they'll get more out of this deal than the Sabres will. But let me know your thoughts and comments down below in the comment section, and we can continue the conversation. If you're new to the channel, I hope you consider subscribing. We cover all 31 NHL teams, and we will have extensive coverage of all the deals going down tomorrow on the NHL Trade Deadline Day. So stay tuned for all the latest news as the trades go down. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. We will catch you next time.